This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about the first Sleep on the Street event in Moses Lake to raise awareness about the problem with homelessness and raise funds for the warming shelter. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Homelessness is an issue in almost every city and every state. On Thursday night, 4 members of the Grant County Homeless Task Force came together to raise money and community awareness for the homeless by spending a night on the street. El Sendero Pastor Mike Alvarado, Moses Lake School District official Dave Balka, Moses Lake Police Chief Dave Ruffin, and Serve Moses Lake Director Tim Cloyd shacked up in cardboard boxes and sleeping bags in the parking lot at Penhalaric's True Value Hardware to get a taste of what the homeless go through every night. Cloyd talked about how the task force came up with the idea.
Well, the Grant County Homeless Task Force was put together to deal or to try to help the situation with homelessness in our community and throughout the county. And we felt like, okay, we could work towards some physical remedies, but it's really education for the community that's needed to help people become aware. There's a lot of myths and fears and misunderstandings, and so we felt like this would be a step for us to bring awareness, to kind of heighten the awareness in the community, and it certainly has done that. And with the addition of the warming center starting this year, we thought this is a good timing for us to bring that to light, to receive donations from the community, to get people connected to it in a practical way.
While the guys hunkered down for a long night, Cloyd said what they experienced is only a fraction of what homeless people can go through every day.
First of all, in doing this, we're not saying that we know what it's like to be homeless. You know, we've dressed really warmly. We've got some comforts that way. So it's really not about us saying, hey, I know what it's like to be homeless and I can understand what you've been through. It's more about, okay, we need to take a step and help the community understand that it takes a whole community to help people that are in this place. And if we can take one small step to bring more awareness to that, well, we believe that everyone deserves that human dignity, no matter what situation they might find themselves in. If they are struggling with substance abuses or alcohol, they still need to be loved and cared for, and they need those basic elements. And we would rather have a person come to the warming center where we can develop a relationship with, hopefully, and when they're ready to make those kinds of changes and decisions, then hopefully we can help point them in the right direction. You know, it's true, we were actually pretty grateful last winter that it wasn't as harsh as previous winters have been. And so that we felt like, oh, good, that gives us even more time to accomplish this. But we felt like, man, we've got to make that first step. That warming center became available. We really went after it. And so that's been a good, healthy step for us. You know, it's been averaging probably 11 or 12 people every night there. And so we thought, okay, we're going in the right direction. Let's keep this going.
Along with the Sleep on the Street campaign, the task force is doing the annual point-in-time homeless count next Thursday, and the warming center is open through the end of February. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
The return of passenger air service in Moses Lake is delayed after the airline reported a shortage of pilots. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
Don't pack your bags just yet. Seaport Airlines announced they've delayed the return of passenger air service to and from the Grant County International Airport indefinitely due to a shortage of pilots. The announcement came 3 months after the airline said they were entering into a partnership with the airport to provide daily round-trip flights from Moses Lake to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and another daily round-trip flight to Portland International Airport. Service was scheduled to begin on March 1st, but Seaport Executive Vice President Tim Sieber said the shortage of pilots has impacted the company enough to require postponement until the situation is resolved. Port of Moses Lake Executive Director Jeffrey Bishop said he was disappointed by Seaport's decision, but added he and other port officials are hoping to find ways to resolve the issue so the airline can begin service as soon as possible. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
This weather segment brought to you by Barry Motors. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at our weather headlines for tonight. We are going to see rain showers are going to be tapering off. Rain, mixture of snow, whatever's falling out there will be tapering off. And we are going to see as well a nice weekend in store, but who has the potential to see snow this weekend? I'll let you know coming up. Take a look at our almanac for us here in Ephrata. We reached a low this morning of 33, a trace of precipitation, and the sun has set for us nicely at 4:55 p.m. Taking a look right now outside, 37 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. As I mentioned, the snow is going to be tapering off, but there's increasing moisture on the way, and because the possibility to see heavy snow, the National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning. This is for areas south of Seattle. This is in effect until Saturday, 3 p.m. That is again a winter storm warning due to the amounts of snow that can be accumulated. Winter weather advisory in effect until this evening, or tonight rather, at 10 p.m. This is for points west of where we are located. However, it's still in our viewing area, so we do still need to keep you updated on that. However, for us here in Ephrata, we're going to see improving conditions. If you have plans to travel out westward, though, look out. Lots of snow to be accumulated, and this is because we are going to have that moisture continuing to come in, and that's going to spark off showers and snow showers that could be accumulative, especially up into the higher elevations. They can see anywhere in between 8 inches of snow, almost a foot. Looking at my forecast for tomorrow, Saturday, nice out there. Temperatures in the 40s with showers and storms out west. So that's where it's going to be raining. But look right here, Yakima, sunny skies, and that's the way it's going to be reflected for us here in Ephrata as we take a look. Partly cloudy skies in Ephrata, 43. Out towards Moses Lake, 45, mostly sunny, so an overall nice afternoon. But again, if you're traveling anywhere west of our general area here, that's where conditions are going to get a little bit dicey and possibly even icy. Extended outlook looking nice. We are going to see a nice trend, but then another system makes its way in here towards the latter part of the week, giving with it a chance for mixed precipitation. This is why you see here, these precipitation totals are actually in a pinkish color. That is because it's a form of mixed precipitation, a mixture of snow and also rain, but that we still have a few days before that makes its way in here. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Sports is coming up.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
The Running Vikes remained unbeaten in East Region Conference play with a win over Wenatchee on Wednesday. The Running Vikes blew past Wenatchee 101-74 at the DeVries Activity Center last night. Big Ben scored the opening bucket. The Knights answered back with a basket by Dylan Boyd. The Running Vikes responded with a 12-3 run and never looked back. J.J. Eli was on the mark for the second game in a row, hitting for 15 first-half points. Riker Pierce knocked down 11, and the Running Vikes led 50-34 at the break. Mogalado drained 13 second-half points. A.J. Miles added 9 off the bench, and Big Ben cruised to the lopsided win. Keyshawn Liggins' jam late electrified the crowd and put a stamp on the statement win. Eli led the Running Vikes with 20 points. Lado knocked down 19. Pierce added 14. Miles had 12, and Liggins finished with 10. The Knights' Brian Michaels led all scorers with 32 points. The win moves Big Ben to 6-0 in the East Region Conference standings and into a tie with Spokane for the top spot. The Lady Vikings were looking to deal Wenatchee its first league loss of the season, but the Knights had another thing in mind. The Lady Vikings were looking to snap a 4-game skid, but came out flat against the Knights in the first game of the evening and dropped the contest 64-42. Both teams struggled to put points on the board in a low-scoring first quarter that had Wenatchee up 9-4. The Knights heated up with 23 second-quarter points to take a 31-17 score into the locker room at the half. Lauren Johnson led the Wenatchee charge with 9 points. Rebecca Stevens had 8. The Knights blew the game wide open with a 16-1 run to start second-half play, and the rout was on. Big Ben hit just 36% of its shots from the field and free throw line and was awful from three-point range, hitting just 2 of 24 shots. The Lady Vikings did not have a player in double figures in the game. The team got 7 each from Max Shelley and Mariah Tipping. The Knights' Drew Carlos led all scorers with 14 points. Shayla Johnson added 11. Big Ben falls to 1-5 in the East Region Conference standings and is just 1 game up on bottom dweller Yakima. Big Ben hits the road Saturday to Spokane to match up with the Sasquatch. Moses Lake Swim and Dive ended the regular season with wins over Eisenhower and Davis Thursday. Chiefs dominated the dual meet, swimming past the Cadets 113-54 and the Pirates 128-57. Noah Heaps led the Moses Lake effort with first-place finishes in the 100 backstroke and 200 and 500 individual medleys. Andrew Molitor touched first in the 50 freestyle and second in the 100 free. He, along with teammates Lake Garrison, Jordan Pack, and Heaps, touched second in the 400 free relay. Moses Lake is the host site for the District 6 swim meet. The prelims get underway February 4th. The finals take place on the 6th. There are a few local basketball games going on in the Basin this weekend, so if you have the opportunity, get out and root on your favorite team. Players and coaches will appreciate your support. CWAC action has Quincy hosting Ellensburg tonight. The first game tips off at 5:45. Soap Lake hosts Kittitas in 2B play at 6. On Saturday, it's Ephrata entertaining Prosser in a big CWAC showdown. Warden hosts Kittitas, and Soap Lake takes on Indiat on the Eagles' home court. Have a great weekend. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our next story is about a Moses Lake boy with a rare chromosome disorder and his wish for Valentine's Day. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
It's a simple Valentine's Day request from a boy with a not-so-simple life. Meet Eli Pierce. Some may know him as Super Eli from a Facebook page created by his mom, Audra, which has more than 3,000 likes and shows the difficult journey of the first 3 years of Eli's life. Eli was born with a rare chromosome disorder, a disorder that's still undiagnosed by his doctors and has caused brain and heart defects, epilepsy, developmental delays, and muscle weakness from his stomach down. His mom said he's also autistic and doesn't speak.
Well, every now and then he'll have a seizure because he is epileptic, so he tends to have seizures. When that happens, usually that ends up destroying his whole day. He's not himself, he will not run around, he'll just want to be held and comforted in our arms.
Despite the number of challenges he faces every day, Eli's smile remains bright, and his positive attitude serves as an inspiration to Audra and his dad Brent, especially after losing their first child during birth.
Extremely so, even with the struggles, he's a very, very happy kid. That's why I blog, to tell his story, so that people can, because as I like to explain, is that I'm one of those guilty adults. I used to let anything really little just get me down. I would not want to get out of bed. But with everything with him, everything he goes through, when we have to take him to Seattle Children's, he gets an EEG. He hates things on his head. He's usually upset for about an hour, and he's back to being happy and back to being himself, and he has this like thing on his head, but he's ignoring it and playing with his toys. He doesn't let anything get him down, and that's why I blog. Is I've had people say, oh, you just want pity, oh, you just want someone to give you sympathy. It's not actually at all that. It's so that I can show people that no matter what you're going through every day, you can smile and be happy and just go on with your day. As the saying goes, if you see someone walking by, smile at them, because smiles are contagious, and that's exactly what my son does. He smiles, and next thing I know, I'm done. I'm all happy again.
Eli already had to have one life-saving heart surgery when he was less than a year old, and will likely need 2 more surgeries. Audra said doctors are hoping they can wait till Eli is 8 years old for the next surgery, which will likely be open heart surgery. Last year, Eli's mom started the Super Eli's Valentines for Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Month in February. Audra explains the idea of Super Eli's Valentines.
So yeah, we started the Valentines last year, and it turned out great. We ended up, I think, with 23 or more Valentines. And this year we're hoping to break the record of getting more. So far I've already gotten 13, and I have people still messaging me saying that they're sending. And it's not just so people can send him Valentines, we actually give out Valentines as well. Whoever sends to him, if they put a return address on the envelope, I will actually have my son pick out a Valentine.
People wanting to give a Valentine to Eli can send them to 4306 Robin Lane Northeast in Moses Lake. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Welcome back. The next story is about the Soap Lake School District proposed maintenance and operations levy, replacing a levy that was approved by voters in 2012. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
The Soap Lake School District is asking Grant County voters to renew their 4-year maintenance and operations levy on February 9th. Like most rural school districts, the levy is an essential part of how the district receives funding, and officials are hard at work talking to residents about what it means for them and their kids. The levy is not a new tax, but is instead a replacement for the outgoing levy, which voters approved in 2012. The district would receive between $800,000 and $860,000 per year through 2020 for a total of more than $3.3 million. In addition to the voter-approved funds, Soap Lake would qualify for about $1 million in matching state funds over the same 4-year span. Altogether, they make up about 20% of the district's annual budget of $5.9 million. In order to receive the state equalization funds, however, the M&O levy must be approved through a simple majority of 50% plus 1 vote. Funds from the levy cover a wide range of expenses for the district, including improving and maintaining facilities, extracurricular and athletic program funding, food and nutrition programs, technology and safety upgrades, and more. Soap Lake homeowners will see a yearly tax burden of about $4.68 per $1,000 of assessed property value through 2020 if they approve the levy. On a $100,000 home, that breaks down to about 39 cents per month. Along with the M&O levy, the school district is asking for a smaller 2-year transportation levy. If approved, Soap Lake would receive an additional $232,000 through 2018 for the purchase of 2 new buses, which are replacing older models. Homeowners would pay about 64 cents per year on their property for the next 2 years if it was approved. Superintendent Dan McDonald talked about how important the levy is to the district and what students and faculty have been able to accomplish with the money it provides them.
You know, the critical piece is that the levy is another piece to the puzzle for education, especially and now where money is tight in the sense of things cost more, there's more things, obligations that the state puts on, federal government puts on. So more than ever, the maintenance and operational levies are very important because you use those dollars that you receive from taxes to keep class size small, to help repair, maintenance, your facilities, your buses. So those dollars you need to constantly look at and make sure that when you're doing things for kids and for your staff, that you have a good facilities and it's safe and it helps build a good culture. One of the things that we've been doing for the last 6 years is pushing for improving our academics, improving our culture, making sure that people understand why education is important. This M&O levy is important to us because it helps us maintain a consistency with what we're trying to accomplish and the vision we have that kids have the skills they need to be competent, successful citizens and community members within our structure here.
Soap Lake is one of 4 Grant County school districts seeking a renewal of their maintenance and operations levy in 2016. In Soap Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about when repairs will be completed at the Grant County Youth Services building. The building sunk in 2014 after issues with the water pipes. Reporter Cameron Probert has the details.
Grant County's Youth Services building is likely to be fixed within the year. Roughly 65% of the building sank in early 2014 after a water pipe began leaking underneath the building, causing the soil to settle. The building settled up to 4 inches in some places and caused cracks in the walls, damaged door frames, and displaced ceiling tiles. Spokane-based MJ Takasaki developed a plan to use poles attached to the bedrock to support the building. The poles are going to be used to make the building level and to prevent any further problems from soil settling. Engineers were in the building last week to examine where to place the supports. The county estimated late last year the project would cost as much as $997,000. The county's insurance carrier agreed to pay 65% of the cost of installing the supports. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.